What's good, YouTube? Quinn Wade basketball analysis. Come to you with another video. Today we're gonna talk about Nerlens Noel. In the summertime, they couldn't come to an extension, and they traded I think 2 second rounders and stuff like that to get Nerlens Noel. Hopefully, hoping that he will stay and be a center, kind of like Tyson Chandler, who they won a championship with. A guy that can stay around the basket, catch alley-oops, dunk the ball, protect the rim, build walls so people couldn't get to the paint. And if they do, they got to take a contested jumper or floater over the top of a 7 feet center that's athletic and can actually jump and still contest it or block the shot. And that's tough to find a player like that that's just that athletic. They can clear that much space while still not fouling and at the same time getting blocks or a tough contest where you're basically throwing up BS. And Nerlens Noel has shown that he can be that type of guy. He also showed that he has quick hands, nice long touch, and he can poke balls away in the post. He can play in the passing lanes. He can be like a wide receiver. He can catch balls from distance because he's able to run. And then his long, lanky arms and quickness. And he has solid basketball IQ. Yes, he still does foul a lot. Yeah, he's not the best offensive player, but he still has a good basketball IQ for a defender, and playing with a strict coach like Rick Carlisle that's going to force you to either respect him or he's going to push you to the next level. It's better than playing in Philly. Playing in Philly, Nerlens Noel was basically playing for nothing because they didn't make the playoffs. They was always losing. He was going to get injured, and they wasn't going to pay him anyway because they had Embiid, Jahlil Okafor, just to name a few. And I'm looking like, how they going to pay all these players? They drafted all these top 10 players. How they going to play them? So they part ways with Nerlens Noel. And now he's in Dallas. He couldn't reach an extension because he feel like he's worth more money. The problem with that is Nerlens Noel hasn't proved it because he hasn't really been a starter since his first season. He played 75 games, and he started 71. The next season, he played 67 games, and he only started 62 of them. And then with Dallas, he started 12. So he hasn't really proved that he is a starter. He put up solid numbers when he did start, 9.9 points, 8.1 rebounds, 1.7 assists, and 1.9 block, and an amazing 1.8 steal for a center. Actually, he basically averaged 1 block, 1 steal as a center, even when he comes off the bench. So this guy can make an impact. This guy can change how your basketball team is played, especially defensively, because he's going to add an attitude. He's going to add consistency. He plays with a lot of energy. He just couldn't reach a deal, and he didn't have an opportunity to prove himself. And Dallas was a team where he can go there, and they had the floor spacing. The reason why I say the floor spacing is because it allows him to stay in the paint. It allows him to stay near to the basket, because if a pick and roll happens, he can run to the basket. If a pick and roll happens, he can stay right by the rim and get an alley-oop. You can't help off anybody because he can always just catch it and catch a lob and just dunk it in, or always just toss it in because he has like a little hook shot, and he's very quick. So soon as now you see me, now you don't. 1 minute you're guarding him, next minute he's at the rim finishing or getting close to the basket and finishing. And that's not the best offensive player, but they're paying DeAndre Jordan over $20 million a season. And I know Nerlens Noel is not better than DeAndre Jordan, but he actually shows potential that he can be a great player. I know Dallas offered him $17 million a year, and he hasn't really started on any good teams. He hasn't really dominated any games. He hasn't shown crazy improvement offensively, and Dallas was willing to commit $17 million a year to him, and he still turned that down. I was surprised because that was a guaranteed contract. That was guaranteed money, and we don't know if he's going to stay healthy. We don't know if he's going to dominate. Now they're saying he's not a starter, and you in a perfect situations where they're willing to give you the minutes. You have the opportunity to be an impact player on a solid team that's young, and you can still develop, and you have a coach that can put you in position where you can succeed and play your game and also play at a high level. and at the same time he putting you in spots where you can succeed in general. So it's makes your job easier, and you have the floor spacing where you're just going to be a guy that's going to catch the end of everything, where which I mean is you're going to always be the guy that's people are not going to notice. They know who you are. They're gonna respect you. They know what you can do defensively, but they're not gonna notice you offensively because you have Dennis Smith Jr. that can break down the defense. You have Harrison Barnes that can score, and he's always looking to play within the system. You have Wesley Matthews that can shoot too, and he's a solid defender. And not only that, he's a guy that stays away from the basket most of the time, which means it free you up to have to paint by yourself, and that's how you can make an impact. So I like Nerlens Noel. I like what he can do. I think he should have took the $17 million a year, but if he feel that he's worth more, it's not too many teams you can go to. It's not too many teams that's going to give you that money, especially when, like I said, you haven't really proven yourself as a starter. And he hasn't really shown signs that he can be a defensive player of the year type of player. I like him that he could potentially do it, but he hasn't played on a winning team enough. Even Dallas is a losing team at this point, to where he has shown he can make a championship impact, that he can make a huge difference. And until he shows that, we don't really know if he really can. We just can go based off his numbers and an eye test. And he looks like a decent, solid player. He does look like a starter in this league. And if he can somehow work his way back up into the starting lineup in Dallas, he has a chance to make a huge impact. And if he does make a difference, he can make a lot of money just because of his season and just because of his potential and just because of his age. So with that being said, I like Nerlens Noel. I like what he brings to the table. I like what he can do. I like his potential, and he's still very, very young, and he's showing signs of being a solid starting center in the league. He still can't shoot free throws. He still can't really knock down a face-up jumper, and he really don't have any go-to moves besides a little hook shot. But that's something that he's going to have to develop, and that's something that he's going to have to find a way. He's going to have to find a way to contribute on both ends of the floor. And he shows signs that he can potentially average a double-double, especially with a team with more floor spacing like Dallas. It opens up the chances for him to get more rebounds because he's going to be the one primarily in the paint. And if he does that, it gives him more opportunity to get offensive and defensive rebounds. And since they shoot a lot of jumpers anyway, those long rebounds, and that'll give you more opportunity because jumpers are harder than finishing in the paint. And the more jump shots they take, the more chances they gonna miss. The more chances you got to get putbacks and dunks and inflate your rebounding stats, and you can actually get a couple points because the free throws and because you go straight up. Or if you're not going straight up, you can just finish around the area or always kick it out, run something else, and try to find a way to get an easy basket. So let me know how much money y'all think Nerlens Noel is worth. Is he worth the $17 million they offered? Is he worth less? He hasn't proved anything. Can he be a center on a championship team? Can he be a game-changing center like Joel Embiid showed a little bit in Philly if you look up the numbers? But I like him. I support him. He's a fun player to watch. He's still young. He has a lot of talent, and he can be a defensive ace maybe in the future if he's on the right team and with the right coach. And maybe he can anchor a defense one day and make a huge impact that way, because I don't really look at him as an offensive player still, because he hasn't really shown any improvement of dominance offensively. So I like him. Let me know what you guys think. Quinn Wade, Basketball Analysis signing out, and we'll see y'all tomorrow. Check out my website, analysisplayground.com. Link will be in the description, comment section below. Also check out my Facebook page, analysisplayground.com. Link will be in the description, and comment section below. Click the link, it'll send you to my website. Click the link, it'll send you to my Facebook page. Like on Facebook to show support. Also, sign up to my website if you haven't already to see exclusive content like NBA rebuilding and some NBA tributes that I haven't shown yet on YouTube. Quinn Wade, Basketball Analysis signing out. And let me know what you guys think about Nerlens Noel in the comment section below.